So 5 months ago, I made a video titled, "This streamer needs to be arrested," and I told you guys how this girl Clav had on stream was possibly 16 when they met and he was 19, and that was just me going off the fact that she said she had just turned 17 and that they had been hanging out for a while. And when I called this out, I had people in my comments being like, "You're just jealous, not quite sure of what, and bro, he's 19 and she's 17, you're actually chronically online." And when I heard that, I'm like, where was this energy for Call Me Carson when he was getting canceled for talking to a 16-year-old? He was 19 at the time also, but he literally had to go into hiding because of what everyone was saying about him. But now we got someone who's not only having sex with this girl, but also injecting her face with drugs that he's not even legally allowed to have without a prescription. You guys are like, this kid's got the stuff. This kid's the next level streamer! Call Me Carson never once met up with the girl he was messaging. Clav was in a relationship with this girl, and you guys applauded him for it. Disgusting. All of you. You should be ashamed. I'm telling your parents so they can have your electronics taken away. Like, even if you guys didn't think it was a big deal, just by the way he acted when she said she was 17 shows you that he knows what he was doing is wrong. And had he known you losers would be okay with him dating a literal minor, then he probably wouldn't have acted like this.
That shit came out good too.
Absolutely.
This is my news.
Rhino pill.
Yeah.
All natural, and I'm 17.
All natural. Whoa. I'll leak.
No, she's 21.
I'll leak.
Class,
I'll leak. Get in the car right now, or I'm done. I'm on stream. I'm on stream.
See what I mean? What the fuck was that? Dude's been sitting there for 20 minutes at this point. Who the hell is he telling to get into a car? Dude hit the Peter and was like, whoa.
Lois, this is not my Batman glass.
You can even see when she realizes what he's doing because of what she said. Like, regardless if they were dating or not, she was there to have a medical procedure done by someone who isn't a licensed professional. And like I showed in the other video, he actually does the full procedure on stream and wasn't banned for it. This is 1,000,000 times worse than anything else he was banned for, and nobody even batted an eye when this happened. Imagine a streamer you guys aren't gay for admitting that they were dating a 17-year-old. You wouldn't even give him the chance to explain. But oh no, the guy who can't handle his fucking Adderall is God to you. At least God could handle his shit. But we all know what kind of guy Clav is. He moves on from one girl to another, almost like he's trying to get an STD. I honestly think if his girlfriend hasn't contracted some kind of sexually transmitted disease within a certain amount of time, he moves on to the next one in the hopes that they can get the job done. And while some girls are totally fine with that, there are going to be some who, believe it or not, don't like being used for views. Like, as popular as you are, if you're just going to use someone for views, that person is obviously going to feel some type of way whether they let you know about it now or later on. Like, just know switching from girl to girl like they were clothes in your closet only works when you're actually rich and not being financed by an Israeli mobster. Like, right now, if Clav said anything anti-Semitic, Netanyahu appears from the shadows and cuts his nuts off, cuts his foreskin off. But after realizing that dating a 17-year-old isn't the best look for someone who's always around women, he pulled out one of the classics and said, listen, you gotta make like an egg and beat it. And she's like, ew, what are you, 50? Who tells someone to leave like that? But after months of watching her ex have the time of her life while she's doing nothing, she filed a lawsuit against Clap for everything he did to her, including promising to boost her career, which he most likely says to every girl he hangs out with. But according to TMZ, Clap is now being sued for battery, fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and more. Influencer Alexandra Mendoza is dragging Clavicular to court for allegedly promising to promote her career back in 2025, claiming he instead took advantage of her, had sex with her while she was under 18, and injected her face with drugs. And then the lawsuit itself even says when they first met, she was 16 years old. She says he paid her $1,000 to film videos for him in May of 2025, and said he wanted her to be the female face of Lawsuitmaxxing. At one point, Mendoza claims Clavicular sent her an Uber to meet at his parents' home in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. She said she went because she had never met Clavicular in person to that point and hoped that he'd help her boost her online presence. She says excessive amounts of alcohol were being served at Clavicular's house and says she became inebriated. She accuses Clavicular of having sex with her when she was unable to give consent, and then claims she woke up the next morning to him having sex with her again without her consent. She says they did not speak for months after after that until they ran into each other in Miami. Still under the impression Clavicular could help her career, she says she accepted Clavicular's invite to a streaming session, which ended up being this stream right here. It says during the live stream, Mendoza says Clavicular injected something into her face to melt fat off her cheeks and streamed it without her permission. Now, without her permission is kind of a stretch because they had been sitting there for 30 minutes talking about what they were gonna do. Now, did she know if they were going to be on stream or not is a totally different story, because he could have been like, yeah, come over, we can do the procedure for you. But then as soon as she gets there, they go in front of the camera and she's not gonna be like, actually, can we do this off stream? So if that's what happened, then yeah, okay. But like, she went to Clav to be the female face of Lawsuitmaxxing. He wasn't going to give you his holistic methods to look better. You're gonna fucking mainline some meth to the face and you're gonna like it. But what's actually crazy is that, and I don't think he said this on stream, but it says, Mendoza further alleges Clavicular suggested that methamphetamine had been added to the injection. Fuck it, dog, we're adding meth to everything now. Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. I'm surprised he didn't overdose earlier. But then it says she saw him multiple times following that incident, and she believed he was still trying to help her influencing career. But now she says she has lost all her sponsorships after Clavicular began a campaign to discredit her. In addition to battery, fraud, and intentional infliction of emotional distress on her, Mendoza is suing Clavicular for the unauthorized publication of her name and likeness. She is seeking damages in the excess of $50,000, which is kind of hilarious. That's the amount she wants, but also means that she's getting straight down to business. She's like, this is what happened and this is what I want. She's not trying to drag this out and take every dollar he has. She wants what she thought she earned or was owed for doing these streams with him. Not to mention his fucking attorney is actually retarded. Like, I get that he has to say this, but he says these are allegations only and remain unproven. This is not an allegation. Sure, the other stuff about the sex is, but they talk about meeting up when she was 16. She says she was 17, and they literally inject her face with fat dissolver on stream. At the least, you can probably get away with him not having sex with her, but dog, you don't think this girl comes from a wealthy family just like Clav? And with this video evidence, it's just gonna make that easier for them. And what's stupid is that there are people defending Clav like there isn't video proof. So for some reason, I'm able to write community notes on Twitter, and that also lets you see what other people are trying to put. And for some reason, this guy's trying to say that Clavicular, who is 20 right now, was 17 when this stream happened 5 months ago. They say Clavicular was 17, turning 18, and the plaintiff was 16 at the time of the alleged incidents. Who the fuck wrote this? Hilarious horseradish ibis? Get the fuck out of here. There's also other people posting random videos they found being like, look, she wanted him back, and look, she was okay with the injections. Okay, but you're purposely leaving out that he had sex with her while she was drunk as a minor. Like, you guys are actually so gay for Clav that you will defend him like he was a part of your family. That is one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen someone do. Like, even if she was okay with the injections, she was 16 and he was 19, using his influencer status to take advantage of her. If you can't see why she went along with everything, then you are actually dumb as shit and need to stop trying to defend another man on your behalf when, had this been anyone else, you would have wanted them banned, blocked, doxed, reported, swatted, fucked, mangled, strangled. Like, we get it, you want Clav to fuck you, but guess what? You're not a 16-year-old girl who wants meth injected into her face, so... And I think he tweeted out something after this came out trying to sound like a normal guy. Just a regular, everyday, normal guy.
When I go to the clubs, I wait in line, motherfucker.
Been productive and lively while sober maxing, also getting leaner. We are ascending this summer. Yeah, dog, all that shit is starting to sound super gay right now. Especially when you got just as many guys as there are girls coming up to take a picture with you. But he then says, while I was in the hospital on life support, a girl was begging Mitchell for my Amex credit card. He said no. The consistent theme of girls trying to use me for money is brutal for a young man trying to navigate a complex society. Hopefully I can find a good girl whose intent is not to screw me over and take my money. This guy hangs around nothing but OnlyFans girls and is surprised that they want his money. Hey dumbass, that's the only reason these girls are around you. You constantly brag about how much money you make and make it a point to go to a club every day. You're not entertaining outside of your stream, and even then all you do is sit at your desktop thinking that having a girl with you is content. Like, you have made it to where there is no reason someone would want to hang out with you unless they're getting something from it, which is apparently not the way he wants his life to go. But hey, regardless of how this lawsuit plays out, he for sure did meet up with this girl when she was 16, and he 100% injected her face with a mixture of chemicals that is definitely not legal. I guess defend him all you want, but there is video proof of what he did. Yeah guys, until tomorrow and then Sunday. Peace.
Just a regular, everyday, normal guy. I got $600 in the bank, motherfucker.